In a world that constantly demands our attention, it's easy to find ourselves trapped in the cycle of distraction. We scroll mindlessly through social media, binge-watch the latest shows, or linger too long in conversations that don't serve our goals. But what if I told you that the most successful people in the world have one critical piece of advice that changed their lives? Stop wasting your time. Let's dive deep into the powerful life lessons they've shared. Lessons that could change your life in 2024. John was a man like many others, hardworking, ambitious, and full of dreams. Yet, for years, he felt stuck in the same place, unable to break free from the chains of mediocrity. He'd wake up early, work long hours at his job, and then come home only to feel drained and defeated. Time, he thought, was his enemy. One evening, after another exhausting day, John stumbled upon a video titled, "Stop Wasting Your Time." Something about those words struck a chord with him. He clicked on it and listened as a successful entrepreneur spoke about how he transformed his life by changing one simple habit: reclaiming his time. The entrepreneur's story was one of transformation. Once a struggling artist with no direction, he realized that he spent hours every day on things that didn't matter. From endless meetings to social obligations that added no value to his life, he was caught in a vicious cycle of time wasting. The turning point came when he decided to cut out all distractions and focus solely on what was important. He made a list of his top 3 priorities: his business, his health, and his family. Anything that didn't fall into these categories was either delegated, automated, or eliminated. Within months, his productivity soared, his stress levels plummeted, and his business began to thrive. John couldn't believe how simple yet powerful this advice was. He decided to give it a try. The next day, John woke up with a sense of purpose. He took out a pen and paper and wrote down the 3 things that mattered most to him: his career, his relationships, and his personal growth. Then, he made a second list, a list of all the things he was currently doing that were not aligned with these priorities. It was a long list. Hours spent on social media, watching TV, saying yes to every social invitation, engaging in negative self-talk, and wasting time on tasks that could easily be delegated. John was shocked at how much of his day was consumed by activities that brought him no closer to his goals. He decided to make some changes. First, he deleted all social media apps from his phone. He unsubscribed from newsletters and unfollowed accounts that didn't add value to his life. He set strict limits on his screen time and used the extra hours to work on his career goals, read books, and exercise. John's transformation was not easy. The first few days were tough. He felt the familiar itch to check his phone, the pang of boredom when he didn't have a show to binge watch, and the fear of missing out when he declined social invitations. But he kept reminding himself of his priorities. Slowly, he began to see the difference. He felt more focused, energetic, and in control of his life. As John continued on his journey, he sought out more advice from successful people who had mastered the art of time management. He learned from Steve Jobs, who famously said, "It's only by saying no that you can concentrate on the things that are really important." Jobs was known for his laser-sharp focus and his ability to cut out anything that didn't serve his vision for Apple. He practiced minimalism not just in design but in life. Jobs would often wear the same outfit every day, a black turtleneck, jeans, and sneakers, to reduce decision fatigue and save mental energy for more important decisions. John also found inspiration in Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time. Buffett credits much of his success to his ability to focus intensely on a few key investments and say no to everything else. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything, Buffett often said. John began to realize that time was his most valuable asset. It was more precious than money, possessions, or even knowledge. Unlike these other resources, time could never be replenished. Once it was gone forever. He decided he would treat his time like gold, guarding it fiercely and spending it wisely. But John also discovered that it wasn't just about cutting out distractions and focusing on goals. It was also about being present in the moment and finding joy in the journey. He read about mindfulness practices from thought leaders like Arianna Huffington, who who advocates for meditation and conscious living as a way to reclaim one's time and mental peace. John started incorporating mindfulness into his daily routine. Every morning, he spent 10 minutes meditating, focusing on his breath, and setting his intentions for the day. He learned to appreciate the small moments, the taste of his morning coffee, the warmth of the sun on his face, the sound of birds chirping outside his window. He realized that these moments were not distractions but opportunities to savor life's beauty. He also practiced gratitude, writing down 3 things he was grateful for each day. This simple practice shifted his mindset from one of scarcity and anxiety to one of abundance and joy. He began to see time not as an enemy but as a precious gift. As John continued to apply these principles, he saw incredible changes in his life. His career took off as he became more focused and productive. His relationships deepened as he spent more quality time with loved ones, fully present and engaged. His health improved as he dedicated time to exercise, eat well, and sleep adequately. But the most profound change was within himself. He felt a sense of peace and purpose he had never experienced before. He realized that his life was not just about achieving goals but about living with intention and meaning. John knew that this was the advice he wished he had heard years ago. He decided to share his story with others, hoping to inspire them to stop wasting their time and start living their best lives. He began writing a blog, sharing his journey and the lessons he had learned from successful people. He hosted workshops and webinars, teaching others how to reclaim their time and find their purpose. John's story spread far and wide. People from all walks of life began to reach out to him, sharing how his advice had transformed their lives. They told him how they had quit jobs that didn't fulfill them, ended toxic relationships, and started pursuing their passions. They shared stories of newfound peace, purpose, and joy. John realized that the power of this advice went beyond just time management. It was about reclaiming one's life, making conscious choices, and living authentically. It was about understanding that every moment was a gift and that the way we spent our time reflected our values and priorities. As John continued his journey, he knew there would be challenges ahead. There would be moments of doubt, fear, and temptation to slip back into old habits. But he was prepared. He had a vision for his life, a set of guiding principles, and the wisdom of successful people to light his path.